evening, everybody. Matt Geary here for Geek Pride's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. With me tonight, we have Michael as Tharaval.
Good evening.
We have Wes as Valishal Nostius.
Hey, everyone.
We have Lecky as Bartholomew Pringle.
Hello.
And we have Galandra. We have Danny as Galandra Rivenstar.
I am Galandra.
Yes, we don't have a Mark. He's gone AWOL, unfortunately, so he may or may not pop on later. So hopefully, fingers crossed. If not, we'll just carry on. Our erstwhile hobbit / halfling is off doing other things, but informs me if I need him, I can text him. So if needs be, we can do that. Right. So last week we were introduced to our newest member, Bartholomew Pringle, the wizard extraordinaire. He has found our ranger and our paladin having a bit of a drinking game. He's sort of overheard some of the bits and pieces about this sort of dragon. What's the word? The dragon ritual? Ritual, yeah. It's things that's pretty interesting. Has pretty much asked if he can sort of,
I will be in your group.
Yeah, I will be in your group. Yeah, can I be your friend? Friends. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. No major issues there. So he's sort of kind of taken himself off with. You're currently with Valishal, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're with Valishal. Tharaval is with them as well. Are you with them?
I think he took himself
Sort
off.
of peeled off, but I don't know if he ended up getting that
We
far
peeled
away.
off to speak to the contact down the alleyway.
Yeah, so basically you've been sort of summoned by we've got a message here. Is this Mark saying he no, it's not. So you've taken yourself off down the alleyway to speak to the contact. He's informed you that some cheeky cleric is trying to mess with your business or their business, and they had an agreement that as long as they weren't doing any harm to Balon, the poor, and sort of with the general running of Balon, then their theft of or their sort of relieving certain high sort of value nobles and stuff, it wasn't the end of the world. Galandra, who is currently trying to get herself a fancy magic ring from a local vendor, has taken herself off to the port where she is meant to be sort of kind of dealing with this potential threat to the merchant's livelihood. And we've had a few discussions about morality and how she shouldn't really be trying to steal from this man she's trying to help, because that really wouldn't be going against her character. So that's pretty much it. We still have a trial to happen, which will hopefully start next week, depending on what happens this week. But yeah, we kind of want to get this sort of thing out of the way and move on. But yeah, we've got a trial. The Triarch of Suburn is currently under lock and key for treachery. Obviously, he's being framed by the party. And it's just, has he been framed justly or not? I guess it's up in the air and open to interpretation. But this is the way
I think so.
So this is where we are, and yeah, that's it pretty much. So let us start with who are we going to start with? We'll start with Danny. Why not? We'll start with Galandra. Okay, so Galandra, you're at the port, and you've been discussing with oh no, that's right. You came into contact with one of Tharaval's agents for all intents and purposes. He's pretty much said, look, you're bad for business. I'm sure we can work something out. What is it you're after? And we're pretty much going from there. I believe Michael was acting out as his agent. So, you're muted. You're muted. You're still muted. Oh, can't hear you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, well, Danny's working out her audio. We will move on to other people then. So, Tharaval, you have spoken to your agent. He's told you what's going on. You've basically told her or him to go off, and I think that's it, Danny.
Yep.
The fuck?
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't changed anything, so I don't know what was going on. Like, it just stopped working for a second. I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get back to you very quickly. So Tharaval, he's told you what's going on. You've basically said, just make her an offer. She can't refuse or whatever. Are you going to carry on following Valashul and Bartholomew?
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to catch up with.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to catch up with them. Yep.
Okay. Bartholomew and Valashul, what is it you still seeking this Dragon Slayer?
Yeah, I'd say so. Probably also looking for somewhere to find out about teleportation portals or portals to other realms.
Portals to other realms. That's right. Yes. Bart had this interest in the portals. Okay. So.
What actually happened to the guy who made portals? Did we execute him?
No.
Or is he still alive? I can't remember.
Is it camouflage?
Oh,
what was his name again?
Gibbon. Gibbon. His name was Gibbon. Your once friendly mage turned
Oh yes,
rogue.
Gibbons. That's
Gibbons.
it. Gibbons.
Yeah, Gibbons. Yes.
Gibbons.
Gibbons was put under arrest in Falcross, and then you haven't checked on him since.
Prison break.
Who was looking after him? Like, was just the normal guy.
You just sent them off to prison and left him and carried on with your business, and he's.
You've got that voice on where you're planning shit now that you've memorably forgotten him.
Well, I did say you were very single-minded about things, so,
I know you too well. I know that voice.
See, my plan went too smoothly in that section, so I forgot about him.
Just killed too many people.
Yep. Yeah. So you have you left him in Falcross, and you've gone off and you've forgotten about him. You've not done anything. So he may still be in Falcross. He may not be.
Can we just backtrack and say that we left Gregor with him?
Nope.
Because he's nowhere to be seen neither.
Nope. Great.
It sounds like a.
Yeah, Matt's now got a story arc that in his head that he's not going to let go of now, so that's going to be a dead end.
Take a long trip and find out he's been executed.
Oh no, it was something more sinister than that. It was something more intricate and sinister, yeah. Like he's done something to double cross us again or something like that.
Who knows, eh?
Okay, well, anyway, yeah, like I said, just searching for information about portals to other realms and dragon slayers.
Okay, is this something you want? Because are you going to sort of kind of mention that you knew somebody who had this? I actually they told you about this.
I think no, I hadn't been asked yet, and Valashul's very much like, if you don't ask him the right questions, he's not going to say it himself.
Okay. Ash was saying Bartholomew or Bart was aware.
But I was asking how he got from the celestial plane to the material in the first place, and got a very broad sort of answer, which he'd probably understand anyway. But then, he was being asked if he can create a portal, which he can't. But the thing with Barty is a researcher by trade. That was like his early career as a wizard was just spent in libraries researching stuff for like more famous wizards to get famouser off. And he got a bit annoyed with that, and that's why he's like gone out adventuring. So if he doesn't know himself, which I don't think he would do, to be honest, because it's quite like an esoteric form of magic, he would know where to try and find information or whom he can try and find it off.
Yeah.
So he'd be able to he'd know of like a library locally.
Yeah. And I think you are aware from your sort of kind of wanderings around that, there was, I think I said to you last week when you were wandering around Balon, sort of, looking for the party for all intents and purposes, you've heard about this magician or mage who's portaled in and caused a lot of issues. So there is somebody around who can portal. He is connected to the party, so you are aware he is connected in some way to this party.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So is the portal thing something Bart's looking for, or is that something Val's looking for?
Something Val's looking for.
Yeah, but he's just turned up and he's sort of just looking for like a way in. He's heard of the party before, so he's just at this point in time trying to make himself as generally as useful as possible, so he doesn't get left behind in a tavern somewhere.
Okay. And what's your priority then? Looking for portal stuff or looking for Dragon Slayer? What's the...
I mean, Dragon Slayer would take first priority, but they're both similarly important.
So which one are you going for? What are you going to do?
Oh...
Coin!
Well, Bartholomew's with Val, so it's probably a good idea to exploit his skill set and go to a library.
Oh my god! Exploit. How'd you get anything done, man?
Okay, so you're taking yourself off to the local sort of kind of grand library. You've seen similar ones. There's one in Taunt. There's one in Angover. You've been to similar places before. Big library, quite a grand building, quite snooty sort of clerks there, not wanting you to mess up their sort of kind of old tomes and scrolls and things. So you go in, and I'm assuming you're just trying to look for stuff on magic and portals in particular?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interplanar travel, specifically.
Okay, so you talk to the sort of kind of librarian or one of the clerks even, and they say to you, they sort of kind of point you off into a sort of dark corner where all the sort of kind of books on magic and stuff are usually kept. You can roll me investigation. Okay. Bartholomew sort of kind of walks up, and he pretty easily sort of seems to zone in on a specific book that he's obviously kind of he's recognizes, or he kind of knows, having spent a lot of time in libraries and having spent a lot of time looking at books, he kind of knows where he's going. So he goes off and he picks up this book and he sort of kind of opens it, and he starts reading about interplane travel and certain mages who've managed to do it throughout the history of Freya. None of them currently are alive. Bar obviously Gibbons isn't mentioned in the book because it's a historical book, but it sort of kind of mentions different things about travel. It mentions how the gods initially provided it to specific chosen wizards to help with the fight. With specific sort of fights and battles within Freya, and what else is it going to say? It does give.
Are there any locations, could any of the portals that were opened potentially still
Well, there is. So you basically
linger?
you still have what is the Portal of Aberath. So it's like it's one of the main sort of kind of historical fights that sort of created what Freya is now. You had the fight, the battle of the Portal War, which was basically there used to be like, I'll see if I can show you a map here. Let me see.
Oh, is that on the World Anvil?
Yeah, there's World Anvil.
I'll put it up and keep.
Yeah, so there is actually. I'll get this because it's a map. It doesn't have any of the names of the cities and stuff on it, but this is sort of the let me see. So, if you, so you've got basically a life tree right in the center of the map, which is the Plain of Aberath. There is a main portal there. Now there were portals in other places. Now Balon had one of these portals, which can be seen. So yeah, that is one of the portals. There was a portal, as you can see, just northwest of Falcross, which is...
Can't zoom in close enough. Oh, I do see it, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
near the bridge.
Yeah, so it was used by the Balonese to help them win their independence from Kyrelia, and it was destroyed as a way to sort of, by saboteurs, to sort of starve them out. So that was originally a portal. I think, is there any other? Did I place any other on the map? I can't remember.
There's one on the bottom left as well of Kyrelia.
Oh yes. Currently unnamed. I've got a PDF, not PDF, a Photoshop document. I was going around trying to name all of the areas and stuff, and I realised there's so many places.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had a chance to name everything yet. But yes, so there is one there, which we can sort of name. I think that is a part of what's that area called? Let me try and find it on World Anvil. In fact, have I got it on... Have I got the area map on here? Yeah, I do have the area map. Bush. Yeah, it is a part of Sonus. Oh, it's not part of Sonus. It's independent. It's an independent area, actually. Yeah, which is.
It's got a bridge to Kyrelia.
Yeah, it's got a bridge to Kyrelia. Yeah, and a sort of kind of floating castle-y thing as well. Again, it is currently unnamed because I haven't done anything with it. But yeah, I don't think there's any other ones.
So we've got. So there's like 4 that we know of there, or 3 that we know of. The one at Aberath,
yes.
Balon, one northwest of. I missed the name.
Falcross.
Yeah, Falcross is the name of the village. That's basically where they started.
Yeah.
Falcross. You've got the main one, which is in the Albarathi Plain, which is near. Now, the main sort of battle that happened, that created what is Asawara and Belmore, who are basically the sort of buffer states created by mercenaries who fought to protect the portal during against. So basically, they're there to prevent war between Kyrelia and the Elathian Empire. Now it's all basically the corruption or the greater. Are the greater evil, and sort of everybody's sort of kind of trying to deal with them. But Elathia used to basically consist of quite a lot of that southeastern area as well. So there is technically ways to portal through the Dragon Towers. So the Dragon Towers, which are the main sort of kind of well, you can see them. There's one in the south east of Balon. There's one in down near the corruption. They're all over the place. They're sort of dotted around the place. They are, for all intents and purposes, anything which is like a big black tower, like these little black towers. They are Dragon Towers, and they are effectively ways to get messages to people and to, in some cases, fast travel. So if you need to go somewhere, there is sort of an independent mage class who sort of run these dragon towers for Freya. And they're used so they can sort of connect the main empires, so diplomatic sort of incidents don't sort of spread quickly. Don't go out of control, and they can sort of move messages between the different sort of areas quickly, effectively. And for a certain amount of money, you could potentially travel between them.
Is that tower-to-tower travel then?
Yeah, tower-to-tower travel.
Like portal network.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the existing portals, are they already linked to any other plane specifically, or they just sort of like you?
Well, so the main portal in Aberath is where everybody were all the second foundings came from. So you had the initial. So the land was created by Ogma. Ogma, has created it, and just for the sake of creating something, Bahamut has then seeded the land with Dragonborn. Bahamut seeded the land with Dragonborn. There's been a bit of a fracas with his sister Tiamat. She's corrupted some of the Dragonborn. There's been a back and forth with the Dragonborn. Bahamut's Dragonborn have won out, but at great cost, reducing the numbers. She's sort of being semi-banished. That sort of for the next sort of early sort of occupants were the orcs, who currently reside in the Zergoz reservation. So you've basically got two sort of very old races, the orcs and the Dragonborn. Dragonborn being the first. They currently have been pushed into reservations in the Ulzi reservation in the west of Kyrelia. The orcs are sort of kind of residing in Zergoz. And then the rest are older races who have come through the portal and started basically snapping up lines. You had humans and elves who have come in, and they've basically gone their separate ways, and then you had dwarves, and they've all gone off and taken and colonized their sort of kind of areas. Very, very much like sort of modern, America during the sort of gold rush and sort of the what's it called? The Manifest Destiny thing. So the local inhabitants were basically pushed out, and they've taken the land, and that's pretty much where we have it. So you have that portal. It is heavily guarded, and they also think, I can't remember the name of the dragon. Again, it's in the lore that I put at the start, but basically there's meant to be a dragon that sort of protects the portal in the north. In the south, not the south, in the plain. And as for the one in the west, you know about it because obviously you got a map and you know there's one there, but you're not sure what the score is. And then there was one in Balon, but it is now defunct.
Okay.
And obviously you know about the Dragon Towers, so you know that they are ways to sort of communicate between regions, to sort of help with keeping the local kingdoms from fighting, basically. But they can be used by individuals to send messages. They're in a way, they're sort of a way of like a post office for your average, not your average Joe, because it's quite expensive to send stuff, but nobles and stuff who need to send stuff to other nobles and things, they can use the Dragon Towers.
Nice. Cool, thank you for that.
Okay, so alright, let me. We'll just keep it on that map for now. Then we'll. Right. So yeah, so those are sort of kind of standalone portals. Those are ones that are sort of have been used, have been there to, since the beginning, effectively. Who created them? It's unknown at this moment in time, but they are there. They are ancient monoliths that still work as far as you're aware, or as far as your teachings and learnings are aware. As for kind of being able to portal between places, there may be a connection. There may be something else. You're aware, and yourself, Bart, you'll know that the magic that sort of flows through Freya sort of stems from these life trees. Galandra probably sort of know this as well from her sort of upbringing as well. The life trees are sort of magical. They're sort of kind of magical versions of the Alphusis tree, which is that sort of the Alphusis oil that you use to sort of knock people out and to sort of put yourself in.
Kill them.
You can kill them, or you can sort of use it as a way. They say you can use the Alphusis oil to communicate with the gods and stuff like that. But yeah, the life trees are sort of conduits for the magic in the land. The main sort of kind of life tree in the center of Freya is this sort of kind of very holy, very well guarded. Shrub, not to say shrub, tree. That the Order of the Morning Star. Sorry, no, the Order of the Morning Star and the Order of the Waning Moon are sort of tasked to defend. So those two, Aswari and Belmer, are where those two sort of those two orders reside. Obviously, Belmore is currently under sort of kind of siege from the corruption. You've got Guard Captain Girk, who's had a big called Whispering Shore. I think he had a big win against the corruption at Whispering Shore, and they've sort of kind of held them back. So they're currently being held. Hence why the corruption is trying to find other ways in and around in and around Freya. Balon being one of the central areas, and probably a good way to sort of kind of spread out and sort of kind of get in the back door for all intents and purposes. Right, there you go. History lesson. All right.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so portals wise, you read about the main portals around the land. You're aware of the dragon towers, what they do. You are aware that there are individuals who were gifted the ability to portal, but obviously none of them survive. They are gifted from the gods themselves, and you're aware that Gibbon, well, at least Valshul is aware that the reason that Gibbon was able to do this was because he was he gave himself he gave in to Tiamat and accepted her gift effectively, and therefore he has been giving this celestial gift to Portal. This obviously ties in with how you see how you got to Frey in the first place, Val, and how obviously you were taken from your mother at that time. And obviously whenever you've called for reinforcements or you prayed for reinforcements at the Battle of Silkside, that's how they came, basically. They portaled in. So they have, the Celeste. Yeah, pretty much.
Naked.
Yeah, butt naked. Butt naked. Yeah, so that's it. You know where it is. You know it's possible. You know it's a gift from the gods. it's like there's potential, I guess, in there. It probably mentions there's potential for ritual and prayer that could potentially sort of gift you, but you have to be quite a special person to be able to obtain these.
Al is special.
Yeah. Well.
Bahamut, homie, come on. No.
When was the last time you? When was the last time you prayed? By the way.
I pray every night.
That being said, you are, Bahamut, who has rescued you on numerous occasions, in the form of the old man, has, in the last time he's basically said my power is spent, so he's not going to be able to help you as much as he was able to, so he's not going to appear as much. Partially because he's probably running after Draken in the afterlife and trying to stop him. Conrad, who is talking shit about halflings. Here, if you're on Facebook, all right, why aren't you in this bloody game? Eh? Part-timer. Right, so, is there any other information you need?
Not that I'm aware of, really, unless any of them are known to lead directly to the celestial plane. So I'll just Bartik's position a lot of this too.
Potentially, the central one in the Aberathi Plains. And if I can get, in fact, actually, I don't know if I've named them in the. Let me get
in Denmark. In Denmark, in a camping village on Facebook.
Oh, right. In Denmark, in a camping village. Right, okay. Let me go for World Anvil here. World Anvil.
Did you say Denmark?
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it like a centre park? I'm intrigued now. But it was I was looking at
Viking cruise.
World, that's
still one of them.
Viking cruise, when you come back richer than you set off.
Okay, so and anybody who's watching this, you can by all means check this out on our World Anvil. But yes, okay, so I actually put some places. So we've got so you've got the Battle of the Aberath Plain, then you've got so the Gati Tass, which are the name of the mountains that surround it. You then have the Portal of Aberath in the center. There. I haven't named that. Oh yeah, I haven't named that one, have I? Gone up. Oh, so I forgot I put tombstones for people who died. Okay, so yes, so you are obviously aware that within the central area of Freya, there is the Portal of Aberath, and it's been there for thousands of years. It's many wars. A big war was fought over it. There's a lot of sort of mysticism and legend that goes behind it, and obviously people came through it to colonize this area. So it could potentially lead to another plane. Again, there's the one in the west, the currently unnamed one, but yeah,
it's unknown.
It's unknown
where it actually does lead.
Yeah, you don't know where they go at this moment in time. So yeah, that's it. It is a possibility. It is a potential, but you're unsure.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice one.
Anything else?
Thank you. Yeah. No. I'll allow your attention to move to another player now.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
That's right. Okay. So, we have Danielle Galandra. You are currently at the port, and you were discussing getting money or getting a ring from the I guess the ring merchant, the guy who sells rings. Those are the guys who sells rings. I can't remember where exactly you got into at that sort of in those discussions.
I think he was trying to get me to not like.
He basically basically the thief, the member of the Thieves Guild, didn't want you messing with his business, and he was kind of saying, look, we have a right to be here, we have a right to do what we're doing. We made an agreement with your party, we made an agreement with Tharaval, that we could do our business, inverted commas, in the area as long as it wasn't sort of hurting the average Joe. So they're basically skimming off the top of the sort of kind of the richer parts of the land. And I think that's where we got to. You were sort of discussing how you were going to get this ring or what you were going to do with them. They kind of said, what do you want? And you were like, what did you say you wanted last time?
8,000 gold.
Oh yeah, you said I think you said you wanted like 8. That's right. You said no, because I think I said it was 3,000. Was it 3,000 gold for the ring? Was it 3,000 or was it 5,000? I think I might say
it was 2,000.
I only had 5.
No.
Oh,
you could have 50. You could have deceived him then.
Yeah.
And got it cheaper.
All right. No deceiving now.
Yes, and then he said, yeah, we don't have that much money. It's not, it's not worth it. We're not going to give you that much money. But we can try and do something else. So yeah. Oh, that's right. You sort of kind of went, is there anything else I can do? Oh, strap falls down.
That was the merchant.
Oh, right, that's right. Yes, you did. And he kind of looked at you and went, no. But
I wasn't even meaning that. Your heads went in the gutter.
Nope.
and yes, and so that was him. He's basically told you to go and deal with the threat that is causing his business to lose money or lose stock and things like that. So that's why you're at the ports or the yeah, I will say port. I'll say ports. So
am I still talking to that guy?
Yes, you are. And Michael's playing him at this moment in time.
Okay. I don't know what was like last said, but am I just bartering at this point? Like, is that what?
So you've I'm trying to think what he said. He had basically said, what is it you're trying to get? And then we sort of inferred that you were going to steal the ring. You were going to steal the ring or get it stolen, and you wouldn't. That's right. They would say, well, we could steal the ring for you, and you're like, you were going to go, okay, but then I was like, your character wouldn't steal from somebody who's just
on that.
Somebody's got, you're not going to let somebody steal because the guy hasn't done anything wrong. He's trying to make he's trying to make a buck, and as a good person, as a good cleric, you wouldn't just let them steal from him. So that's where your sort of conundrum comes in.
Yeah, because we disagreed on whether my character would do that or not, and then we had a whole big discussion on characters and changing and blah blah blah. And I was like, I need to think about it.
And you had a long time to think about it.
Well, I didn't really. It's been a week of busyness. Okay, well, I'm basically going to say to him, I said, look, if you can find me a ring that looks similar and of similar like value and properties, then I may consider stopping the questions. But I don't want to know. I don't want to know where it's from. You can get it from wherever if you feel necessary, or wherever you can get it from. I'm not a turn to for darker realms, for darker places that you need to get it from. So I am fine with that. So if you can find me one, of similar nature, then the questions may stop.
For Michael, for you playing this guy, you have to bear in mind that you have an agreement with Tharivel, so they will be partially annoyed that it seems like one of the party is reneging on this sort of agreement. So you have to take that into account.
Trying to remember what accent I give the guy. Well, I'll probably I'll stick with Northern Irish. Well, this isn't exactly how I saw things happening, but I suppose you're not really giving us any other choice.
Your liaison did say, offer, give me a price I can't refuse. So.
How do you know he said that?
Matter.
Spy.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Give me a persuasion roll.
Well, the thing is, I think from the point of view as to what Danny said there is, although, yeah, they're not going to be particularly happy about what's going on. Basically, they're trying to use means other than killing somebody to, so it's basically like a bribe. If we can get something for her, then it'll keep her mouth shut, which actually seems quite seedy and undergroundy. So that actually seems to fit in quite well.
Yeah, and the fact that you can get it from wherever you want as well. You don't have to get it by like good means either. So you can do whatever you want to get it.
Oh, Danny. Daddy. Oh, just stolen something.
Ignore him.
Okay.
He's excited about making me milking an alt on ASO. That's all he's laughing.
Soul gems.
Oh, they're gaming together.
I am on stream.
Nerds together.
Stop talking about soul gems. I'm on stream.
Okay, so
Anyway.
all right then. Roll me a persuasion with advantage then.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, he's pretty sort of happy enough. He doesn't want any sort of faffing around. You can tell he's slightly annoyed about sort of like, having to go through this hoop, but he will sort of endeavor to find you a ring. He asks you to sort of describe it and to maybe sort of kind of draw something, and he sort of goes off and decides that he's going to try and find you something similar, which I can use. Anyway.
Can I also, before he goes, can I also ask him to point me in the direction of something that would send a message over a very long distance?
Distant. Okay. He sort of he says the only thing that would do something similar is using one of the dragon towers. And there is a dragon tower in the southeast of Ballon, on the little island.
I wonder who I will meet there. I wonder who will be there.
It's called Flame Fort. It's in the south. It's in the southeast of Ballon. You'd need to get a ship there, or there is the potential to have a mage send a message to a mage within Flame Fort that would then relay it on. But obviously, that may
very much like Chinese whispers.
It may sort of kind of get muddied in the yeah.
And there's nowhere in Suburn that sends messages.
No, you basically got these main towers. There is sort of this one here is slightly more remote.
I'm assuming that's what you were just talking about with towers and stuff. I was totally listening to everything that you was talking about with towers and history and shit. Like,
you'll be aware of this. You'll be aware of this anyway. You're aware the dragon towers are quite well known throughout the lands and stuff. They are known to be used to.
I'm gonna pretend I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, to use to send messages and stuff. Again, because Ballon is Ballon sort of on an island. They have to, messages need to be sort of kind of ferried there through, well, because Suburn's the closest link to it. There is sort of potential using one of the sort of mages to sort of have a sort of connection to the Dragon Towers and then onwards, as it were. But other than that, if you want to sort of make sure that the message is getting there directly and as you want it, you'd probably have to go there in person.
Yeah, I don't think that's an option for where I want to send a message. So I don't think I'd be able to get there.
Yep.
At all.
As for that, you could use snail mail, I guess. But how long it would take, depending on where you're sending it, it may take, where I'm assuming you're trying to send it sort of back to your homeland?
Possibly.
Okay. So yeah, that you're looking sort of.
That's the far distance.
Yeah. You're looking weeks and months maybe to get it back.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you guys have sending stones? Did I
get
that right?
They have a sending stone each. Not each. So they've got 2 of them, one each. But obviously you can only.
Between the stones.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
Basically, like glorified walkie-talkies. Right. Okay. So he's taken himself off to try and find you something that you can use.
I'll go somewhere to research to find out more about the Dragon Towers. Then.
Okay, so you find yourself in a library in the middle of Suburn, and as you're sort of walking in, you see Valashul and Bart walking out.
What must you say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we spot one another?
Yeah, I'll not overcomplicate it for you. Yes, you sort of kind of, you're walking out. You can't sort of miss each other. You're not exactly inconspicuous and stuff. So you do sort of kind of nod at each other, or not nodding. You notice each other. So it's up to you. If you...
Al squints at Galandra and stops in his tracks. Like, what are you doing here? I don't take you for the book sort.
You're not bookish. There isn't a bar in there.
How very fucking rude.
The irony thing is that you both have your both characters have drinking problems as well, which is quite amusing.
It's hard being religious.
Yeah, it's hard being religious when you don't want to be, and Matt makes you because that's your character.
Well,
you made your character.
You did make your character. There was no Matt. There was no Matt. I don't want to be a cleric. There was no Matt. I don't want to be this and stuff.
I had no idea what D&D was, and you said, "Hey, I've got a game, and we need a cleric."
There you go. And you're welcome. And you're welcome. There you go. 3 years later, here you are. Come on.
Oh no.
Okay.
Never you mind, Paladin. What are you doing here?
That's my business and mine alone.
Wow.
You go, okay, see you later. You go off to sort of read what they've already read, and then sort of.
See ya.
Bye.
As you're sort of kind of sitting there sniping at each other on the steps of the library, Tharval sort of kind of appears and sort of looks at you all. It's like, things haven't changed, it would seem.
They tend not to.
So you're all on the steps of the library at this moment in time. Glandra is wanting sort of like, you're asking what they're doing, he's asking what you're doing. Bart's looking extremely sort of bemused by this whole thing. What are you doing?
Bart is just going to. Do we know this woman?
Oh, have you met her before? Have you met her before? Oh, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
Oh, you haven't. Yeah, you haven't met her. Yeah.
I'm not in the tavern at all.
No. So that's right. Yeah, you haven't met Bart.
Oh shit! Right, okay.
You obviously
I'm just walking through, and you're like,
you haven't met
somebody else.
Bart.
Like,
You haven't met Lance. You haven't met Bart, Lance,
Bart.
or Arno yet, have you?
But he's just like stroking his chin. He's like, oh,
that once.
You would be sort of, again, because of your sort of kind of being a bit of a nerd. You're aware of all the sort of kind of stories that have gone around with these people. So I think you have a vague idea who this group of people are, but you've never been introduced.
I'm the only fucking woman in this group. You definitely know who I am.
is it Galandra?
It is. Who might you
The
be?
famous. Why? I'm just a humble researcher on the road looking for his fame and fortune. I am Barty. Well, Bartholomew Pringle, but my friends call me Barty. And he just like extends a hand. And a big smile.
Pleased to meet your acquaintance. I hold my hand out and shake his hand firmly.
Oh, it's quite the grip you have there. You must work out.
I am renowned.
She gets a lot of practice in the taverns.
My skills do not lay in my grip. Thank you very much.
Oh, is that why you don't wield a sword?
That's a throwback.
Well, it says from somebody who got beaten in a duel.
Oh yeah, they
had cheap tricks.
They had a duel. They had a duel after the Battle of Silkside, and
it wasn't fair.
And Zoolander cast Charm. What did you do?
No, command.
Oh yeah, command on Valashil to drop his swords. So yeah, won by cheating in his mind.
That's how you do it.
Right, so Bart's there. He's introduced himself. What's going on? What he's doing?
I'll just say, Are you joining our merry bunch of adventurers on whatever quests we are now involved in? I'd shoot daggers at Val.
I'm only following the path of the gods, Galandra, just as you should.
I roll my eyes.
Yeah, that's it. Bear in mind, you're a cleric, and he just doesn't think you're a very good cleric.
I'm not a very good cleric. That's not something that I try and be. He's a cleric. I don't think I've healed anybody once. I think I heal NPCs on Miss Lady Tom more than I do that fucking party.
Right. So, what's happening?
Well, Barty's just going to something occurs to me. He says, "Well, Valishal, it occurs to me whilst we're at this library, there might be a community board or a bulletin where maybe a dragon slayer might be advertising their services, or a wary adventurer who may be overreaching slightly might be doing the same."
Val nods his head and says, "Good thinking. Common sense is a good skill to have."
Wow. Yeah, Galandra, I don't think is aware of.
Wow.
Wow. Right. Enough. Enough.
My fragile ego.
He's only been in the group for 1 week. I can't scare him off.
Oh dear.
Okay, so there is sort of like a notice board around. There isn't anything that relates to Dragon Slayer because there hasn't sort of actually no, wait a minute, thinking about it.
Where we find out there's not been a dragon for 5,000 years.
Well, there is dragons, but I'm just trying to. Okay, no. So there's nothing on the board, but roll me perception.
All of us?
Yeah, you can all roll me perception.
My strong suit. It
This is
seems
where I
not.
go with this shit.
Bad rolls.
All right. So Tharaval is aware that there's sort of like there's a local citizen aware. He's sort of kind of eavesdropping on your conversation, and he's sort of kind of like, he's sort of got his back to you, trying to do anything, but you can tell he's sort of listening in on what you're talking about.
It appears there are other ears on this conversation. He sort of turns and looks towards the person listening in.
Yeah. He quickly sort of kind of looks down and starts sort of kind of rummaging around in a sort of kind of like this little basket thing, acting like he's not doing anything.
We should ask him some questions.
Yeah, so Tharaval sort of gestures to everybody to sort of head over towards this guy, and potentially sort of surround him so he doesn't make a run for it.
As you sort of surround him, he looks very sort of like sheepish and sort of carries on doing he's just looks like he's just looking at a basket, and he seems slightly panicky, and he's like and he's trying to act like he's doing nothing.
What is it you're looking for?
Oh, well, I don't know. He's quite flustered. He doesn't really know what to sort of kind of say to you. He's sort of kind of just looking in this basket, and he's not making a lot of sense.
Val just kicks the basket over to see what's inside it.
There's nothing there. It's sort of like some rags and some stale bread and some other bits, and he sort of kind of the guy sort of kind of freezes slightly. He sort of brings himself up, and he looks pretty sort of like intimidated. And he says, "Oh, I didn't mean any harm. I didn't mean any harm. I just, I've heard the stories about his, and I just couldn't help sort of listening. I'm really sorry.
No harm done, but why were you so interested?"
He says, again, I'm really sorry. I wasn't intentionally. And he says, I was intentionally listening to you, but I mean, there's a guy.
Andrew grabs his collar and brings him into the center and says, "Spit it out."
Yes, my lady. There's a gentleman in the inn over there who says he's a dragon slayer. I guess you're looking for one, so he could be one, I guess.
Delandra looked wide-eyed, and I was like, "Dragon Slayer," and then I look at Val and be like, "I'm guessing this points to you."
Val just smiles and says, "Can you unhand the man? He's clearly got nothing malicious."
But you're not exactly the best judge of character. She lets him go anyway.
Of course, I'm in a party with you.
Ooh. You'll regret that one.
Get a room.
Oh, God, the sexual tension.
Oh dear.
Okay, so he sort of like, he says, yeah, I'm really sorry. It's nice to meet you all. Can I go?
Val takes his snow globe trinket out of his pouch and gives it to the man and says, "Sell this and maybe you can get more than stale bread."
Did you not give that to Casper, by the way? The snow globe?
No, I took it off Casper.
That's right, you did. You gave it to the child and then took it away from him. Right. Okay.
I only gave it to him to like stop him crying.
Right.
It was
Okay.
my toy.
Okay. So the
You're giving it to like a random stranger.
Oh, this is the one that you
homeless
shake
man.
and it actually snows.
Yeah, it's well good.
Yeah. Okay. So
I've not had a chance to use it yet.
Yeah.
but
So
I
he
probably
takes the globe and he goes. Oh, and he looks a bit sort of like bemused by the snow globe, and he gives it a bit of a shake, and it starts to snow on you all, and like everybody just stops and looks at you. Like this very busy area suddenly just stops as this sort of very sort of kind of like this small circle of snow just starts to fall in your vicinity. And the guy sort of kind of looks wide-eyed at this thing and then at you and goes, "Oh, thank you, and he sort of kind of takes it and runs off with your snow globe.
Val smiles as it begins to snow, and he just reminds me of home.
And he, as he's going, the snow sort of kind of following this guy. So you got this like sort of small snow cloud following this sort of like guy as he runs down the street.
He's probably just got that guy executed for being some sort of witch.
Yeah, but I was thinking he could like be like a charlatan and make some money by I can make it snow on demand.
Oh, where's my spreadsheet?
He's probably gonna get hanged, and that'll be on your hands.
Where's my spreadsheet?
If he gets hung, then his soul will find peace in the afterlife.
There you go.
Oh my good god.
Wait a minute. Let me find my spreadsheet. I need to stick his snow globe guy is. That's a potential arc right there.
I was gonna say you what do you mean you've got a spreadsheet for him?
He becomes like a warlock.
Yeah, it's just something. It's just like he'll just appear one day. You'll be like mid battle, and you'll suddenly see this sort of like these droplets of snow just appearing as he comes riding in this sort of yeah. Where's
it's like that party question. It's like you can be a superhero, but your superpower's got to be really shit. What would it be?
Make it snow.
Make it snow in like a 6-foot radius.
Every time you just go like that, and just loads of spaghetti shits out.
Okay, so he sort of points you to one of the local inns where he says there is potentially a dragon slayer, yeah. So are you?
This is the first Galandra's hearing about it, so I'm gonna look at Val and just be like, "Why are we looking for a dragon slayer?"
Indeed.
Yeah, we need one. Tiamat has many dragonborn under her command and possibly dragons. It'd be wise to know how to dispatch them quickly.
Well,
Galandra shrugs and strides off towards the inn.
Okay, are you all going?
Yep.
Okay. So you.
Yeah. Okay. Dragon slayer.
Okay.
New quest. Yep.
Alright, that one's done. Next!
Next.
1 week before the trial.
Yeah, we'll hopefully get the trial next week.
How were you with exams, Wes? Like, how were you with exams?
Oh, I don't do exams, mate. I just like fill it out, close it, wait. No, there we
go. That's it. Party.
I have a list of like completed quests on like and completed side quests. You have like your journal would have like the main quest still on like level 2, and like all these side quests up to like level 45.
Yeah. So let's see. We're going street bum. Street bum.
Has
yeah.
Wes's snow globe.
I mean, it makes sense now that you put all the pieces together, but I didn't realise at the time we might be homeless.
Yeah, these stale bread and rags.
Stale bread and rags.
Yeah. Okay, so Street Bum has Wes's Val's snow globe. Though I'm sure Wes has a beautiful snow globe collection.
I do.
Val's.
They produce different effects. That's it. New collection. Val's gonna have to collect snow globes. So magic effects. Like, one makes it rain, one makes it snow, one makes it overcast.
Dragon Slayer's been shelved, and dealer of novelty items.
Yes.
Is now what we're seeking out.
I'm gonna retire and become just a trinket collector.
I'm just gonna dangle new quests in front of Val, and we'll just be off that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you take yourself off to the sort of the local one of the other local taverns. As you go in there, it's relatively raucous. It's one of the less less clean, and it's a sort of back alley sort of establishment. There's lots of rum looking gentlemen and women in there.
So can I do something?
Yes.
Val kicks open the door and shouts, "Dragon!" And sees if anyone who stands up in a panic and see who's still calm.
Oh my god.
So all right, give me a
I'm not sure that they know we're here.
give me a
Arvo and Saravel draw their bows and like
Alright, so what am I rolling?
roll me a strength to see if you can kick the door open, I guess.
Oh my god, no.
Oh my god, this will be hilarious. Please roll a 1.
Oh, not much better.
You go, I've got an idea, and you kick the door, and it just stays there. You literally just kick the door. As you do, somebody comes to the sort of flap and sort of like flat, and looks at you and says, "What are you doing, kicking my door?"
I'll interject and say that he's overcompensating. Are you open, good sir?
He says, "Yeah, just don't do any damage. There's enough damage being done in here. Not with you kicking my doors in. You got money?"
We've got money and we'll keep this one on a leash, don't worry.
He's like, "All right, then." And he sort of kind of opens the door, and you've got this very raucous, very loud, and inn with people drinking, dancing. There's a bar in the corner. You've got sort of people laughing and sort of telling tall tales.
This is my kind of place. I'm gonna go and get a drink.
Yep. So as this is an establishment, and you both have sort of potential drinking problems, you both have to roll me. Well, Galandra, are you voluntarily going to get a drink? Okay. Valashul, you have to give me a what are you going to give me? Okay, I'm going to give me a persuasion. This is if you're going to persuade yourself or not. Okay, to get a drink first before you go and try and find your Dragon Slayer. Okay. You what starts out when you choose a skull glimpses at the future, begin the press.
Sorry, but I accidentally clicked it. But I've just rolled my d20s for in preparation for the rolls, but I've done it off Roll20.
Okay.
So it's one of my abilities, but I didn't realise I was pressing it into chat. I thought I was just putting it away.
Okay, that's right. That's fine. Okay, so you you're like, I'll just
one.
I'll just get a drink before I go and try and find when in Suburn, and you sort of you go Galandra, and you sort of kind of take yourself off to the bar. Tharaval and Saravel just shake their heads. Oh no, not again.
Why was he like Queen's English then?
It's like it was a reference to Spaceballs when John Hurt's character. Oh, that's right. I forgot
not
that.
Again.
Oh no, not again. I mean, you've never seen Spaceballs? Do you know what I'm talking about, Lecky?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't remember much of it though.
So the alien pops out of his stomach again, and
so they're in the diner at the end, and John Hurt's there, and he's sort of talking, and then he suddenly starts spasming, and then this alien pops out, and he goes, "Oh no, not again!"
Oh, that's sick.
And then it dances down the bar with a little hat on and a kid.
Hello, my baby.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Hello, my ragtime gal.
I'm gonna go watch that.
Yeah.
Quality cameo.
Yeah. Okay, so you take yourselves off to get a drink. The lady sort of gives you some of the local mead. What with your local mead? Are you going to chink glasses? Or are you just going to? What are you going to do with your booze?
Val stares at Galandra and then lifts his mug and says, "Let's put the animosity beside for tonight."
Can't take it, can ya?
Challenge accepted.
Yep.
Challenge accepted. Okay, so you chink your eye.
I'll just put my drink up and say, the animosity is all good banter.
Of course.
Yeah. You both drink your drinks. Or you start drinking your drinks. Tharaval and Barty, what are you guys doing while those two are at the bar?
Barty finds if there's bard in the tavern and just like pays them like, I can't fight this feeling anymore. While they two are having a drink.
I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Yes, the loot version of. Okay, Tharaval, what are you up to?
So while this is all going on, I think Tharaval and Serval are actually going to do some work. They're going to have a little sort of listening round for, like in conversation to see if there's anything of interest that might get mentioned with regard to dragon slayers or dragon slaying.
Roll me perception.
With advantage because of the two of them, or just
yes, yeah, you can have advantage. Okay, yep. As you're sort of kind of walking around the room, and to be honest, you're not really, your types are sort of kind of seen in the sort of bar, so they're not really that bothered. You overhear a very brash sounding sort of dwarf, going, and I killed me, one of the great ancient dragons. I took its horn, and here it is. I wear it upon my person. And he sort of kind of breaks out this sort of kind of massive sort of like this horn. He starts drinking from it, and he's like, "Yes, I am the great." And I need to find a name for him. No, it's not Tharad. Tharad's more subtle. Let's see. We're gonna take.
Is he fucked?
No, he's not.
Well, he was meant to be from the one shot. It's just unfortunately Tom.
Subtle for a dwarf.
Is going to be called.
Silver dwarf.
He is going to be called. Ooh, some good.
Papa God.
Jojo Junior.
Steve. He's going to be called Steve. Okay, he's going to be called. Oh crap! I've just closed off that. Oscar. He's called Hannick Wraithsword. Hannick Wraithsword is my name. And I am the only dragon slayer in these parts. I've come far from the north to bring justice and to bring death to the dragons within this land. You've had experiences of them. I've heard that there's been sightings of these devils here. I am here to rescue you all. And he's sort of kind of like, you got some slightly drunk wenches who are sort of kind of like hanging on every word. You got a couple of people just sort of kind of laughing at him. He's pretty inebriated, but holding court.
So Tharaval walks over to him and he,
what did I call him? Sorry, oh shit, I've just gone.
Harrod.
Halleck,
Wraithsword.
Yeah, okay, we'll say that. We'll call that.
Hannick Wraithsword.
Hannick
I thought it was
Wraithsword.
Fanik.
Hannick. I'm going to write him down. Hannick. We'll say Hannick.
Somebody write it down.
Hannick.
So Tharaval goes over to him and says, "So you're the great Hannick Wraithsword that my my friends have told me about. Your reputation precedes you.
Well, thank you, friend. You've obviously heard of my battles. Can I get you a drink?
If you would you, I feel I should. Let me think. Hold on. How do I put this?
Yes.
Give me the honor and join. Give me the honor and join me and my friends to toast your greatness. My friend, your greatness. My friends are also mighty warriors. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I think. I was going to say they think they're better than you, but that's them over there.
I said, "Oh, right. And who might you be, friend?"
Robert.
Do I want to tell my name?
Brave sword, Faring.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, no one that you will have heard of. My name is not important, but my friends, I'm sure you will have. And he sort of gestures over towards Valashul and Galandra standing at the bar.
He, without any sort of kind of real care, he's like, "Okay, then let's go and introduce me to your friends. Ladies, I'm sorry, I've got to go, but I'll be right back. So you just keep your pretty little faces there. And Stephen, you better not go through my bag, or I'll get you next time. All right, let's go." So he sort of wanders off and sort of looks as the two of Galandra and Tharval are sort of kind of looking at each other, drinking this sort of right. So your friend over there says I should introduce myself. Tharic. Sorry.
Sorry. Tharval sort of comes over and he says, "Sir, allow me. Might I introduce the legendary Hannick Wraith Sword?"
Yeah.
Dragon Slayer renowned. This is Valashil Nostius and Galandra Rivenstar, warriors and heroes of Falcross Bridge.
He sort of kind of doesn't seem to take any notice of your titles or your heroes, and he looks at Galandra and says, "My lady, in where I come from, all the women would die to have beauty like yours at your service." As he sort of like takes your hand and kisses it, and then he looks at Valashul and says, "You're a big one, aren't you? But yes, I am the man. Hannick Wraithsword, they call me. You've no doubt heard of me. I'm quite famous. I'm a big deal." I'm kind of a big deal.
So famous that I've never heard of you, is what Valashul replies.
I know what that quote's from.
My God, you saw a film, Danny? You watched the film?
Tom says it all the time.
I'm kind of a big deal. Hannick just sort of looks at you and says, "Oh, you cut to the heart of me like a red dragon's claw to my soul there, adventurer." He says, what's he going to say? "I was only here to be polite. I thought you might want to buy me a drink, but if I'm going to be insulted, then I'll go back to my ladies."
No, just spoken deeds are nothing without proof.
He says, "Oh, proof? Is that proof? Well, I'll tell you what, buy me a drink and I'll tell you all the proof that you need."
So you can become more inebriated and tell me more lies? I don't think so.
Is that what you're saying to him?
Yeah.
He says,
Oh.
he's just like, lies? Me? You're calling moi a liar? Why?
If the boot fits.
He's just like, he's just like, isn't it? He sort of kind of gets on one of the tables and says, ladies and gentlemen, these adventurers have come into your establishment and called me Hannick Wraithsword, the greatest dragon slayer in all of Northern Freya, a charlatan. Now, what do you say about this? And the sort of girls who are on the table are just like, boo, boo, kick him out. And some of the other ones are just like, people are ignoring him. The barman's just sort of kind of shaking his head and just kind of going, he's just like, Hannick. He's just like, Hannick, get down off the table. Thank you very much. You've caused enough damage in this place with your bloody tall tales. It's like, barkeep, why you call me tall tales? You have no idea what I have seen and what I have done. And these men have insulted me, and I have been nothing but courteous to them all. Sorry, were you going to say something?
Can I roll insight to see if there's like, if he's just putting on a show or if he's like genuinely insulted?
Okay, roll insight.
Okie dokie. 1 second.
You're not sure. He seems offended. He seems like he believes what he says.
Can Tharavel and Cerebel do insight as well?
Yep. Yeah. Again, he seems offended, and he seems sort of. He
believes his own lies, is what you're saying.
Well, the way you say it is you don't see any. You can't glean anything more from him.
Tell me right now. Is he telling the truth about dragons?
Galandra doesn't believe a word he's saying. The rest of these aren't sure.
Val looks at the barkeep and says, get me a tankard of whatever he was drinking before.
And he says, right away, I'll get you the tankard. And he sort of kind of says, like, guys, it's good to see that you've come down. Apology accepted. And he sort of gets down off the table, sort of clears off some bits and pieces and says, right, come on, have a drink with me. I've got many tales to tell you.
I'm just gonna look at everybody in the party and just give them like I'll look at the guy, look back at them, and just be like, and just give a very silent shake of my head to be like, yeah, no, he's not what he says he is, but like just keep it very, very subtle.
Okay, so he so he sits down and the alcohol comes over. Because there is booze there, you're both sort of happy enough to sort of kind of entertain it. Tharavel and Cerebel, what are you doing?
I will order elven wine.
Okay. The barkeep's like, right, elven wine.
Or anything elven.
He sort of kind of rummages around and finds a sort of dusty old bottle of some vintage arbor that's come from Dunine, which you know is your local area, and sort of gives it to you. Barty, what are you up to?
I would like a mint julep, please. It appears we've found our dragon slayer.
So it would seem.
Okay.
Yolanda rolls her eyes and takes a sip.
Okay, so you two have had one drink each. There is a big sort of pitcher of mead that's sort of and obviously your bottle of your sort of kind of local wine. So Galandra, you can give me a. Are you happy enough to drink, or are you not wanting to drink straight away? You're muted yourself again. Whatever's happened, you're back to mute.
How am I doing
No,
that?
you're okay. It's
Not a
working now.
loose cable.
Oh.
so
You're back, yeah.
I don't know. It must, maybe a cable. Maybe the kids on the.
You're back again.
Every time you
Yeah, when you lean forward.
forward.
Don't lean forward. Don't get into the game at all. Just
I have
nice one, come on.
I've totally not got ESO on in the background. No, I think I'm probably quite happy to drink, considering I've just found like the D&D alcohol tolerance chart. So as long as I order elven shit, I'm fine.
I see. Well, it's a hashtag homebrew. So there we go. Okay, so Valashil, you obviously want to question him a bit more. You drink some of your drink. Galandra sort of started next some of her local wine. You can both give me a Constitution save. Galandra, you can have yours at advantage since it's elven wine.
Great.
Okay, Valashil's getting slightly tipsy. You're not like out and out, but you can feel the buzz. Galandra is now muted again. She's moved forward, and
I don't know what it is.
it must be a bad connection or something somewhere.
Yeah, it might be.
Weird.
Bad connection.
It's never happened before. Okay. Just one of the Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, Constitution saving throw. You can have advantage on it. Okay, yeah, you're fine. You're all right. You carry on. Okay, so he's sitting there. He's drinking his drink. It's sort of kind of pouring down his beard, and so I guess you've got some questions for me, adventurers. Fire away. Just make sure the drink's flowing.
I want to know if you're available to be hired in order to train what are otherwise pretty poor soldiers.
Trained soldiers, you say? That's interesting. And how much are we talking about monetarily?
What would your regular flat rate be to take down a dragon?
Oh, that really depends on what sort of dragon you need to take down, friend. There are many types in these lands. If it was just to train some soldiers. Are you rolling insight, Alondra? He's talking shit. So he's you're can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can't hear you. You can shout all you want. We can't hear you.
Try pulling on your headphone cable a little bit. See if that. Like if you just pull down slightly, like that. No, there might be a kink in the cable or something. Oh, that's a shame. There you go. There you go. No, don't move. Don't move ever. Oh,
that's it.
Don't move ever.
Don't move ever. Just
there you go.
in that exact position as well.
Yes, that's it.
It's now not coming through. Hold on.
It's coming through something else.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, there you go.
Okay, cool. You're in my ears, and I'm okay. No, I was just rolling inside to see if Val had caught on to my head shake before about him not being real.
No.
I will. Okay.
No.
Well, actually, okay, you can give me a perception.
Roll perception?
Yeah, you can roll me a perception. Yeah.
Don't fail me now.
Don't be
Okay.
sure.
No. No.
My time will come.
May I portent? So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did head shake to everybody. Is everybody thinking that this guy's real? Because I head shake to everybody. Like, this guy is shit.
Okay.
No one caught that?
So what's important to start in the second level when you choose a school?
So I can basically at the start of the day I roll 2 dice, and then at any point through the day I can choose to swap out a creature's rolls that I can see with one of the results. So I've got a 15 and a 6.
Oh,
so I
okay.
think it'll just slip in a
Starfall knows
15
what I'm
in there.
talking
Okay.
Starfall's on my level.
But if you want to keep it open for us all to perceive, then we can just let that slide and
Yeah, I can sort of you've perceived Val. Val hasn't. Everybody else has.
Of course.
Everybody else is completely is like this guy's talking is like talking bollocks, whereas Val, he's had a few drinks and because it's something he wants, he's more happy to sort of maybe believe him than not.
What is it that Val needs? Is it just the blood, or
No, I need someone to train people to kill dragons, essentially.
Tharavel says, Master Wraithsword, perhaps you would entertain us all with a demonstration of your skill in battle, of how you would go about finishing off a dragon.
He's like,
wouldn't, and he sort of turns around to the crowd and says, "Wouldn't we all like to see that?" And he sort of starts trying to cheer everybody up.
Okay, roll me persuasion with advantage.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the club.
He's just like a dragon slayer doesn't abuse his powers, my friend. You know, I wouldn't want to show everybody up in this place. Plus, the barkeep might kick me out for causing a ruckus.
oh shit! So I keep clicking the wrong thing.
Shaping our drinks.
Shaping drinks all the time. Yeah.
How about a challenge then?
Like a wager, like a wager.
Stop clicking stuff.
A challenge, as in like a wager.
Aye.
And he's like, "Ooh, well, I do like a bit of a tipple. What sort of wager do you have in mind?"
The drinks are on us for the rest of the night if you win.
Oh, that sounds glorious. Not just for me and my lady friends. And he sort of kind of points over to the ladies here, like kind of waving back and stuff.
Very well.
And he says, what's the challenge, might I ask?
Okay, let's think.
Quick question. Is the only reason why Val is perceiving him as telling the truth is because he's pissed?
Well, it's because he's had bad rolls, but yeah, that's the sort of that's the narrative.
In-game.
That's the narrative. He's getting slightly leery, and because he wants to find this person. Too, he's had a few drinks, and so he's been slightly a gullible or a gulla calf. There you go. There's another quote. Danny, do you know where it's from?
Nope.
Wayne's World. No.
Oh, I have actually seen that though.
Yeah.
I have seen Wayne's World.
Yeah. Do you think I'm a gullah bull or a gullah calf? Okay, so yeah, so what's the wager? What's the wager?
Well, maybe we could do have you heard the story of Willis Tell?
He's like he sort of kind of looks at it, he says, "No, I haven't. What who is Willis Tell?"
So basically it's the story of William Tell. So he says about placing an apple on top of somebody's head and trying to hit it off with, I'm assuming he's probably going to be using an axe of some sort.
Well, I guess because he's called Wraithsword, he'll have a sword. So we'll say a sword. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically it's a challenge to basically hit a target from across the tavern or across the inn.
He says, I don't know, but swords are close range weapons. I like to get up to my targets close and personal. None of this at a distance, bollocks.
He then says, surely the easiest way to take down a dragon would be from a distance, as it would be extremely difficult to get in close.
Not if you know how to get them to come down, that is. He's like, no, let's see, he says, what's he gonna do? He is going to counter your challenge with another one. He turns to Valishul. He says, I tell you what, none of this nonsense. How about you and me? And he says, have a good old drinking competition. Last man standing wins. Roll me persuasion on yourself. Okay, you're. It's up to you. I'll let you decide.
Val shakes his head and says, I drank way too much last night. I don't want to have the same morning I had today.
He says, oh, been there, friend. So he looks back at Tharavel and says, well, it looks like it's me and you, Ranger.
I fathom to see how drinking can show us your expertise in battle against a dragon.
At Constitution, my friend, if you can get a belly full of ale and still get up and kill your foe, then I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll have our drink and then we'll attack your bloody target. The person who gets the drinks down first and hits the apple on top of that barrel over there is the winner.
Very well.
Okay, so excellent. So he sort of kind of holds up his hand and says, ladies and gentlemen, I have been challenged to a drinking competition to show my worth, to show that Hanek Wraithsword is the greatest dragon slayer in these parts. This ranger over here has challenged me, and you're all going to see something very, very special. So make sure you keep the drinks coming, because I'm going to give you all 3 drinks when I beat this elf over here. So he sits down again. He passes you a drink, and he takes one himself.
Okay, Tharavel makes his way over to the table, and doing so he sort of like glares at Valishul to sort of like help sort of thing, and then sits down to start the competition.
Okay, so
how am I meant to help?
You may have magic that may expel drunkenness.
I do, yes. I've been thinking about that for a while now.
it does make you bleed from your eyes, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it makes you ooze black pus.
That's just we'll just show that I'm back.
I'm
gonna win this anyway. So.
Okay, so while this is happening, he sort of gives him a drink. He sort of he gets 2 cups out and he gives you one and he takes one. What are the rest of you doing before this starts?
I mean, Val's kind of suckered by his deception, so
yeah, I'm
gonna kind of just be listening in and watching.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch very closely and stand very much.
Was he boasting about having like a trophy earlier?
Yeah, so he's got a big drinking. He's got a drinking horn, which is basically he says was the horn of a dragon.
Okay. So whilst everyone's prepping for the game, like might approach him and it's like, so a dragon slayer, you must have some fine trophies.
Ah, yes, my learned friend. This is the horn from the Great Dread herself. I took this from her, and this is my trophy, as you can see. And he sort of gets out this drinking horn and shows it to you. Roll me a nature check, I guess.
Nature check.
Or would it be history, basically, so to see if you are aware of where it's from.
But does he name the dragon?
Yeah, so he calls it the Great. What do they call it? What do they just call it? Shit, I just named
Dread, was it?
The Great Dread. Yeah, the Great Dread. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take history for mine.
Yeah, give us a history check. You've heard of her. You've heard of the dragon. You're not aware of, you know of the dragon. You're not sort of like aware, like you can't sort of kind of picture it or anything. You've seen maybe drawings, but you're not sort of. It doesn't mean anything to you. You can give me a nature check, obviously, because you've done. You would have done sort of. Basically, you would have read about animals and things like that, maybe.
Fair enough.
Have they already got their first drink of the game?
Yeah, so they're both drink. As is happening, you look at the horn and you go, that's not a dragon horn. That's that's the horn of a greater of a greater I don't know, like some
side of a manticore or something.
Yeah, a manticore or something like that. It's or something, something even less impressive, like it's like an ox horn or something like that. It's just a very large sort of kind of. It's come from like a steer or something like that. It's nothing. It's in no way, shape, or form draconic or dragon related.
Yeah, cool. I just look at him, like lock eyes, and go, "This is the most impressive item I've ever seen."
I know, my friend. I know. I'm an impressive sort of person. You should hang around. You might learn something.
How much would one be willing to part with this for?
Oh, he looks at you. Says, I went through a lot to get this horn. Took many injuries, and I couldn't let it go for more than and he sort of kind of looks at you. 2,000 gold.
Well, I suppose a true dragon horn is worth that price, but I am but a humble academic. But I do thank you for allowing me to hold such an impressive item, and I pass it back.
He says, "Oh, no problem. Anyway, I've got a drinking game to win, so no more distractions."
Oh, of course.
I was just about to say, while he's having that interaction with Barty, I am under the table turning Tharavol's drink to water.
Okay. So roll me sleight of hand.
Oh dear.
It's like 30-foot range. You need to be nearby. You could move that.
Well, yeah, it's like
Okay, so if you're just casting it, create, destroy water. You either create or destroy water. Creating water, you create upon 10 gallons of clean water within range. Thing is, though, if you're creating water that's already in a cup that's full,
just replacing the liquid that's in there.
So you're destroying it and then creating it. I guess you're casting it twice for all intents and purposes. You're, okay, so. All right. I'm gonna roll perception to see if he actually notices you faffing around. Okay.
Faffing? It's just like a.
Yeah. So still...
It's not some sort of elaborate like arm waving shit.
He got a nat 20, so it doesn't matter. He got a nat 20 on his first roll. Well, he did. You can see it right there. The first roll is a 20.
The need for perception is bullshit.
Say it again? Why is it?
The need.
Why? So if you're doing anything, he can still try and perceive you, just like you swines perceive everything and anything that happens. So you're just like, oh, I perceive that. I would have perceived that. So he's doing exactly the same thing. He sees you doing stuff with your hands, and he sees.
He's listening to a conversation with Barty about his dragon horn.
It's fair.
Okay, all right. I'll not complicate it. I'll give him disadvantage then, so he got a 5. All right, since you as long as you can justify it.
I've not argued with you in a while, but he was literally like.
Okay, he was. Barty was running interference, so okay, fine. I'll give you that. Okay. So he doesn't notice, and Tharavol's sort of drink is now just water.
Water.
Yeah. Okay. So he sort of kind of he necks his drink, and you neck your drink, and he says again, and he sort of pours another one out for both of you. Are you doing the same thing? What level is that spell, by the way? Or is it cantrip?
I don't know. Fucking clue.
First level.
Like first level spell.
Okay, so how many of those have you got left?
4? Oh no, 3 now.
Okay, so are you doing it again for the next drink?
Yes, but I'm doing it when he's like when he's got his pint above his eyes.
Has Barty clocked onto what's going on?
Do you want to roll me a perception to see if you sort of pick up on?
I'm always here for a good perception check.
You just complain that we just complain that we're perceiving too much. It's like no perception.
No, you didn't notice what they were doing.
I think maybe if I swap that 4 out for a 15.
Yes,
I might do.
You do.
I'm just like Barty's just like wandering along. He's like whistling to himself, but in a very like strange tune, and at the same time he's like almost like creating like little sigils with his hands. And he sort of like does a very short walk around the table, and as he passes Galandra, he'll just like tap her on the shoulder, and she'll disappear as I cast Greater Invisibility on her.
You cast invisibility in front of everybody?
Greater.
So you've just she's just
okay.
Okay, so he
be gone, Spot. No.
So like
I was like, yes,
finally.
Hannick sort of Raceward just sort of kind of is about to drink his drink, and then like is like, what the hell just happened? And he sort of kind of goes back in sort of like shock. Everybody else sort of kind of around sort of like gasps as sort of, this person who was there isn't there anymore. Tharaval.
Do I know I'm invisible?
You don't know you're obviously invisible. You just sort of
he's just tapping on the shoulder, not everyone's looking at
everybody's just sort of looking in your direction and like, what the hell is going on?
Can people hear me? Is it just like a
no, if you're mute.
Right, okay. So the people can't, even if I'm invisible, it means you can't hear me either.
No, he was talking about because you're always on mute.
When your microphone comes to mute.
Oh, I didn't catch
I was like, did nobody get that? Come on!
Okay,
comical genius
so
twisted here.
Everything stops. The music stops. Everybody's just looking at the table, like, what the hell's going on?
I can't do anything, can I? 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't even know I'm invisible.
Barty, what's the sort of?
Tharaval sort of nudges your man and says, "Come on now, drink up. Stop making it.
I don't understand why everyone's
excuses."
stopped.
He says, you look, I know I've had a few too many drinks, but you've noticed that your friend does not exist anymore. She has ceased to be a member of this society. She is not in that chair. She's gone. All right, you everybody else has seen this. It's not just me. What the hell is going on?
Oh, she does that all the time. Don't mind her.
Who is this woman of which you speak?
The lady, she was right there in front of us.
Which lady? You're raving.
He's like, roll deception.
Sorry, guys.
Unexpected
It's
turn.
going to go badly.
Yeah,
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was.
yeah, he's just like,
Are you trying to say that I've just made a woman vanish out of thin air, like into thin air, in front of a tavern full of people? What do you think it's for? It's ridiculous.
Everybody else just sort of kind of, the music goes back on and they carry on doing their thing. He just sort of is just like, oh, okay, maybe, and he starts like kind of pushing his hand over to sort of kind of feel where the chair was and stuff. Galandra,
I look like, what the fuck are you doing? Start like moving away, like get off.
now, all right. So bear in mind, Galandra
I know
isn't
you can't- I know
aware.
you can't hear me.
Are-
That's why I'm like, what the
Is
fuck
he
are you
gonna
doing?
grasp? How does it work? Was the invisibility? Can you hear? Can they hear?
Yeah. So she's just invisible. If she makes enough noise, people will know she's there. Like steps on someone. It's a bit OP for the intention. I thought she'll just like quietly slip out of
But she didn't know
out
what
of
was
visible
happening.
ray.
But
Well,
sure,
no.
right, so if she doesn't, right, so everybody can see theher own body, so surely as soon as he's put her invisible,
like-
she's going to be able to see that she cannot see herself.
Yeah.
Well,
But
what about it? Will like part of the reason he's like shouted out afterwards is like to try and give her a bit of a hint, but it'll just like sort of like
Yeah, I suppose if you
cover his
said-
mouth and just be like, "Oh, somebody's turned her invisible. I suppose you've got free reign to do what you want."
okay. All right. Okay. I'll not overcomplicate it and make it sort of like her, because
Okay,
I'm
okay.
thinking she would panic herself because she's being invisible and doesn't know what the fuck's
Landra
happening.
takes herself
just
off
hap-
to Lady Taunt's room.
It just happened. All right,
What
Lady
happened?
Hunter.
In Barty's head, it was a really elegant solution to a very minor problem, and then it's like when you're a kid, and like you think, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna help out like in the kitchen," and then the house is on fire.
Yeah. It was like, well, I was just sort of thinking, yeah, so everybody's there. They've seen this person. They're not there anymore. The person who you've made invisible has no idea you're going to do it. So, and nobody around you knows you're going to do it. So it's like,
Well, if he's just
Yeah.
said like
No,
you're
fair shout.
you're not there anymore. You see, he's just said like you're not there anymore, and you just been like, I've just made somebody invisible, so I'm like,
I will
invisible?
let. I'll tell you what. I'll let you all roll insight to see if you grasp what's just happened and what he's doing. Okay. Yeah.
Surely I get advantage.
Marshall again.
Oh my god, Val.
So everybody again, bar Val, is sort
Can
of
I
like.
remake my cheat, please?
You think he's telling you about dragons, and you've got no idea that I'm invisible. You're just
Val,
like,
I think we need to get you some training to increase some of your stats. I think so. We might need to take you off to sort of get you a few. What? In fact, let me find out what your.
You need to max min your sheet.
I don't want to though.
while they're all perceiving me, I'm gonna.
They're not
I'm-
perceiving.
I'm-
It's not insight. So basically, Valashul is like, he's just like, he's still shocked at the whole vanishing of Galandra thing. He's not grasping why she's disappeared still, but everybody else.
Thankful.
Yeah, so he's just like, but he's like, and again, he's sort of thinking, is it the booze? What am I not seeing? And he sort of pushes his cup away slightly and sort of shakes his head. So I'll not sink this proverbial scam. Where is he? 1 minute.
He's just like, drink, it's the demon's brew. I mean, you drink enough and you'll believe a bison is a dragon.
Yeah. Did you say that?
Yeah.
So
why not?
he sort of, I don't actually 1 minute. Let me roll on.
While he's doing this, I'm going to invisibly walk over to where the whatever target is that they have the apple or whatever they're doing.
So he doesn't grasp what you're saying at all. He just sort of like completely he's like, he's really drunk and he's obviously, so he doesn't sort of cotton on to the sort of the sly little dig you've made about his hoard and stuff. So he's just like, maybe I've had a bit too much to drink. And he's just like, and then he sort of kind of thinks second about it, and he says, no, I am Harrick Wraithsword. I have never had too much to drink. Anyway, let's carry on. And he sort of gets the drinks. And are you doing the same thing? Assuming you were doing the same thing when you distracted him.
Yeah. So when he got distracted, because I'd already cast it before I went invisible.
Okay, so he does it again. He's already had a few drinks. So let me just roll for him on his.
So what are they like, having 3 drinks and then going to hit a target? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah. So he is. He's like, right, Ranger. I've finished my drink, and we're gonna do the thing. And he's right. Let's go. And he sort of unsheathes this unwieldy sword, and he says, are you ready? You can go first.
You best have your aim on.
Yep, so I'll do steady aim and take a shot at whatever we're trying to hit.
Yeah, so just roll me a hit.
We see, this will be the one time that I miss. I don't need to add in sneak attack and all that shit. Where's my magic antler thing?
Yeah, I think you can definitely take that apple by surprise.
Yeah, you can have advantage because you're not drunk. Yeah, man, fucking.
Well, if he's using steady aim, he gets advantage anyway. So
yeah, Val, you really don't have. Yeah, so you literally you can describe how much finesse you use to hit the apple if you do anything sort of,
Does a backflip twirl and then does it?
So Tharavel's sitting there and he's watching the Wraith sword sort of get up, and he's swaying all over the place, and he's pulling his sword out, and he's like sort of swaying all over the place and swinging it and just sort of almost hitting people in the face. And he sort of says, "You can go first to Tharavel," and Tharavel just sort of looks at him, and literally in the blink of an eye, he just stands to his feet, draws his bow, and just lets loose. Without really taking much aim or anything like that, and just hits the apple like straight through the middle, pins it to the wall.
Everybody sort of kind of there again. There's a bit of a lull in the sort of kind of the rowdiness of the pub as you sort of the arrow goes through the apple. You hear this like as it happens, and so like Wraith sword just like, shut up, let's watch me now. And he sort of kind of gets his thing, and as he sort of kind of gets his sword up, he falls into a table and knocks himself out. and he sort of kind of knocks himself out, and then like sort of kind of farts, and that's it. He's unconscious. The women who were sort of kind of there just go, "Oh, all night we'd spent with him. We're not gonna get nothing," and they sort of take themselves off around some of the other tables, and the landlord or the innkeeper just kind of goes, "Right, I'm gonna have to kick him out," and he sort of like gets some of the other sort of local henchmen or whatever to sort of kind of pick him up and turf him outside.
Galandra picks up the apple that he was meant to hit and takes a bite.
As you're invisible?
Yes.
So it's a floating apple on an arrow.
So it wasn't doing an action make you visible though.
Yeah, how does it work? Does it?
No, it's greater. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so until it wears off, you're fine unless someone perceives you. So it's like in combat, like I think you still got hide, but you get things get disadvantaged for trying to attack you or.
Okay, so
messy.
You just see this apple like sort of being chewed in midair, and then it just sort of like goes down her gullet.
You see this one like coming
turns
out,
up and starts fizzing in her stomach.
This apple sort of kind of goes around. People just sort of, I don't know, they just seem to.
Anything on the target creature is invisible as long as it's on their person. So this apple ceases to be visible the second she grasps it, I suppose.
All right, so you wander out, are invisible for as long as, I guess.
It's only up to a minute, or for as long as I concentrate.
Okay, so you leave your concentration.
Well, once in a nice dark area.
Yeah, so he's out. He's being turfed outside with his baggage and his horn, and he's sort of kind of snoring away on the side of the street.
Valish disappointed as he's taken out.
Yeah, Valashil sort of it's like his.
Have I clocked on to he's just like?
Yeah, I think you're aware that he's maybe not.
I want to creep up behind Val while invisible. I want to creep up behind Val and like whisper in his ear. There are no dragon slayers here.
Val looks up to the roof as if he's hearing Bahamut and goes, "I fear you may be right, my lord."
I could use this.
Yeah, so he's sort of like unconscious on the ground, or he's snoring away. His bag and his horn and everything's sort of kind of with him.
I inspect his sword.
You pick up the sword, and it's a relatively ornate looking sword. It's got some nice gems and stuff in it. It's got some draconic looking sort of sigils and heraldry and stuff around it. So it's a nice sword.
Nicer than his Bane?
Say it again.
Tharavel sort of turns to I forgot his name. Barty, and says, "You're a man of knowledge. Would you have any history on this? Or would you have any idea of the history of this sword, or any of the markings on it?"
Oh. Yeah, I've got a pretty high history. If you just want to like inspect the sigils, or I could do some.
Just to basically give us a better idea. Of
do we think the sword might be magic at all, or?
Yeah. Well, let's just see. I'm trying to find some sort of.
I'm assuming it's like a.
Okay, bear with me a minute. Let me just read this.
I'm assuming it's like a two-handed sword or something, or a great sword or something like that. Oh, sorry, puppy.
Just bear with me a minute. I've just found a potential fit for the sword. I'm just trying to read what it does here for a minute.
Okay.
Bear with me a minute. So,
that tells me what I need to do.
Yeah. Okay, no, so I might not use fully. I might homebrew it actually, but I might keep the name. Let me see. What? It's will despair. No, actually, okay. No, that's actually giving me a better idea. Okay. All right, so this is going to be a completely homebrewed weapon, which we can tinker with, but I'll give you the gist of it now, and then we can kind of work on what extra things it might do in downtime. Okay, yes, okay.
Oh,
so roll me a history check.
Side quest number 2.
Okay, so you are, you're aware that this sword, based on its markings, looks very familiar to a sword that you've read about that was used by a well-known magician, traveling mage, to summon. It's sort of kind of in the book. He would summon dragons from nowhere and defeat them with balls of lightning and things and stuff. But what you have in effect is a sword that will summon the visage of a dragon, and then the guy, the greater mage who was doing it, was basically using it as a bit of a con. So this dragon would appear and then he would kill it and stuff. And this is what you're sort of kind of start putting 2 and 2 together, that this is what this guy's done. This guy has managed to acquire the sword from this, how he's got it for unknown reasons, but these dragons, inverted commas, that he's been slaying are ones that he has been creating using this sword. So it can sort of create not mirage, what's the word? Like
an illusion.
An illusion of a dragon. And he has been defeating these dragons with this sword, and obviously that's where his con's coming from.
That's amazing. So Bart's going to be like, well, he wasn't really a dragon slayer, but to call him a charlatan was a bit mean. I mean, this is an incredible object. Maybe use it for mischief, or another bauble for Valishal to give away to the nearest homeless person.
Yes. Give me trinkets.
So you're explaining to them what it does, then?
Yeah. So like, it merely projects the idea of a dragon for you to do with what you will. I'd imagine he was dispelling them in a very theatrical manner. So it could be fun. In terms of like the combat capabilities, it's just like a sword. Or is it like?
No, I haven't thought about that. I just sort of kind of saw this one, but I thought that this one might be too OP. So
is it like a great sword or something like that?
Yeah, it'd be a great sword. It we can add. I can sort of add. I'll have a bit more of a think in downtime and sort of give you some stats for it and stuff like that. It's not a bad sword. But it does. Its main thing that it does is it projects a dragon.
That sounds very cool and useful.
Thorvald sort of, he has it in like sort of both hands, and he sort of turns to Glandra and Valishul, and sort of offers it toward them if either of them want it.
As you pick it up, you press like one of the gemstones on it, and as you do, this this huge red sort of this huge red dragon sort of appears snarling in the center of the square of Suburn, and everybody just screams and starts running off.
Fuck's sake.
Darvel's sort of like standing there like, he did it.
Val says, at least this is one way to summon a dragon slayer.
Am I still invisible?
No, that would have worn off, I think. It only lasts a minute.
Okay, well, I turned to you and I was like, one of those invisibility potions would have been good right about now.
Okay, so you quickly sort of kind of press the same button again, and it sort of disappears. Yeah, it sort of press the button again, and it sort of disappears in a sort of kind of wisp of ethereal smoke, and like you can see people sort of looking up at the sky and sort of looking at, and then a few others sort of kind of looking at you, all sort of you know. Lots of bad things seem to happen when you guys are around, and yeah.
We are harbingers of ill omens.
Yes, of ill omens. Right, so Wraith's sword is there. What are you going to do with them? And we'll call it a night after we've sort of done with him and stuff.
Val looks at the others and says, "We really shouldn't steal from a man, even if he is a liar. Do we give him the sword back?"
So you're gonna kill people for following orders, but not steal
When
off
have
somebody...
I killed someone for following orders?
The person, well, you were trying to kill the one that Lance beheaded for following his orders.
He was gonna.
Were you not?
Like,
No,
yeah, but I guess the argument would be he was trying to do harm, whereas the Dragon Slayer is just an idiot, basically. So it's not like he's no harm. He's just a. That being said, would the paladin?
My moral compass is haywire.
Would you try and have him sort of arrested for fraud?
No, because entertainers can be fraudulent.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of just like if you fall for it, it's your own fault.
Yeah. Okay.
It'll be taking coin for getting rid of these dragons.
Yeah, then
and
again,
it won't come at a light price.
Oh, I don't know. Val's had enough of thinking about this and leaves.
I vote we just leave him in the gutter and take his shit. He was trying to deceive everybody, so he's not a good guy. That's my input.
Tharaval deceives people all the time, but he's still a good guy.
Yeah, but he's our friend. We like Tharaval. We don't know this guy.
Indeed, maybe he will mend his ways. Props.
To be fair, I think my deceptions have been minor things. I didn't suggest framing a
you talk about deception, you absolute.
You should be a rogue. That's why you should redo your sheet.
Down the Triarch via deception.
To be honest, I did want to be a rogue, but Matt said you guys needed a tank, so.
my deception is like trying to get you drunk and saying, "Oh, look behind you, there's Lady Dawn."
All these people not following their character sheets is because Matt was like, "You need to be this."
Well, no, there was a space empty, and I offered you, and you accepted it. And
I'm fine with what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm just kind of, to be honest, I kind of wanted to be like full on Spanish Inquisition, but
I think you're getting there.
Slowly. I had plans for what I was going to do to Agover, so.
Oh God. Okay, so
you're just
gonna leave. You're just gonna leave him.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave him in the gutter.
Are you going to leave his horn and stuff? Or are you gonna just take everything and bugger off?
I think Tharabal's gonna take his sword.
Okay, so you take the sword. You take the sword. We'll name it. We'll figure a name out for it at some point.
Has he got any money?
Val goes to Galandra and he's like, Can I borrow 1 silver, please?
Galandra looks at him with and blinks. What do you need 1 silver for?
So he can at least buy himself a wench from the tavern.
Why do you not have 1 silver?
Don't carry money on me. I
Because
have no
you're so
purpose for
divine.
it.
Well, you often do.
If you have no purpose, then
I
you do not
trust
need one.
other people to hold the money for me.
Well, that trust is
The
Yeah.
church has my money.
Yeah.
I have no need for money except unless I want to
Except
acquire
can I
a
borrow
whore.
one?
I'm assuming you're gonna have
You've
some
already given-
basic.
I
already
do,
given
but I
away-
can't remember how much I've got.
You've all got the
The
same.
share.
You all had the same as other people. I think you
Okay.
got didn't.
You had like 5,000 gold pieces last
Yeah,
session, I think.
yeah.
That's in the bank then. That's
Straight to the back.
You've got
That's
enough. I
great.
think you've got
You've
enough.
already
You've
given
got
away
you've got enough to give him a couple of coins and stuff. I don't think there's any. If you
Can
want to
I
leave
go to a trinket shop?
a trinket shop,
Yeah, I want to buy a new trinket.
okay.
I've lost my current one.
Yeah, okay.
So
why
if
not?
You just
Alright.
left the trinket on the floor.
No, we're taking that one.
We're taking the
We're
you're
taking
taking
the
the sword. Taking the
What else have
sword.
you got?
You've left him a couple of silver. And you left him a couple of silver.
You know, I'm not heartless. Like.
Yeah, and he may or may not appear again. Annoyed that somebody stole his sword. Who knows? We'll
I
see.
will just mask him as a charlatan or kill him.
Right. Okay, so last thing, then we'll take you to this trinket store, and then we'll do it. So you go into a trinket store, and it's lots of little sort of tacky bits and pieces. You know, it's a magic shop, but it's got
It's got that antique shop smell.
yeah,
like,
it's got that antique shop
musky
smell. It's really just there's nothing of any major use in here. It's just
It smells like tat.
yeah, it smells like tap. So let me just see what we've got here. So
Kill the vendor.
okay, so we got I didn't reset my bloody API, so it's not gonna I'll just generate trinkets here. Trinkets, okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here. We don't want magic items. We want
Or do we?
we don't want magic items.
Technically, are they magic items? Because they do magic stuff.
It's got trinkets. There we go.
Okay.
That snow globe probably would have been classed as a magic item because
Okay.
made it snow.
So we have got actually we've got here. So roll me two oh okay. So roll me a D100 no sorry, roll me two oh yeah, sorry. 42 breath on it. So 42. A glowing rod that drives away dampness and moisture in 10 feet radius.
Is that what I find?
That's one that you find. 92. A hawthorn wand that turns small objects ethereal for an hour.
What's ethereal?
Like smoky.
Ethereal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
that's pretty cool.
ghost objects.
Val picks up the rod and reads.
Wait
like,
a
damn
minute.
bits. And
If
he looks
it-
at Galandra and says, "We can't have this around you and Lady Taunt."
Yeah. Roll me another 2D100s.
If the ethereal plane's a thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Could we use this to
Become
like,
ethereal.
power
Go to the plane.
a multiplanar engine?
Oh, do I have something you want?
and another one, please.
One more. Okay. Who's doing it? All right, I'll do it.
Perfect.
Okay, an iron pot that an iron pot's pan. Its handle never gets hot. And
Galandra doesn't cook.
a laurel necklace that never wilts. So you've basically got this
A
laurel
flower.
Flower necklace.
a flower necklace that never wilts.
Well, Galandra doesn't cook, so I want the necklace.
This isn't getting. You got to buy these things. This isn't stuff you're finding. It's not you're just you got to buy this stuff. It's not like you're not finding this in the.
So Andrew just grabs everything and runs.
Yeah, so there's that. You've got the pot. You've got the wand that turns things of that ethereal. You've got what was the other one?
The laurel necklace.
Laurel necklace. What was the other one? What else we got? 42 was the first one.
Oh my god, I know what we can do with the laurel necklace.
The rod.
A glowing rod that drives away dampness. Yeah, that was the other one. And I will throw in a 2-person tent. After each use, it seems to get smaller and smaller. After 2 weeks, it will then shrink enough to become a 1-person tent. After another week, it will fit the smaller creature. After another week, a tiny creature.
So it can go through the party until it reaches Hobbit's.
Oh no, I've got an even better one. This is amazing. A rock that screams in fear when it's thrown. That's amazing. There you go, yeah. So you got a tent that gets smaller after every use. A rock that screams when you throw it.
Val takes Bart aside and he's like, do you think there would be a possibility to fabricate some sort of claim that the laurel necklace will not wilt so long as a certain bloodline is on a throne?
Oh, do you mean lie?
Well, fabrication is not so much lying as in creating new truths.
It's always possible to.
So narcissistic. Gaslighting.
I would suggest it, but it depends. Like, so you could tell a child, and a child may well believe you. You could tell an inquisitor, and they would likely throw you in prison. Like,
well,
surely
what
they
if we
would
were to fabricate the claim in a way that cements it in the history?
What send
Give
back?
it real providence.
I would say, having read many books, you've read many sort of dubious histories where items have surprisingly appeared at the right time in the right place and stuff like that.
I suppose we could make a story. If someone's willing to believe it, then you could tell them almost anything. But I would warn you against maybe overstepping your bounds and trying to con somebody that maybe has much magical knowledge. These things, surely they're just run-of-the-mill, low-tier items.
Aren't all items before they're enchanted?
That's so true. Yes, we could create a history.
Okay, so what items are you bringing to? What items are you looking to buy?
Necklace.
I'm the necklace and the wand.
Okay, so the wand, the necklace. You don't want the stone or the pot or anything like that.
Oh, Farival wanted the stone.
I want the stone.
You want to buy?
Are you gonna make? Are you gonna
I
make?
just want to carry it and sort of throw it up in the air every now and again, so it just goes.
Can ethereal objects be seen, or did it appear as like a ghost-like
I
thing?
imagine
or...
they're ghostly.
Yeah, I would say they're sort of like a ghostly. Yeah.
How much for the necklace?
Okay, so you got the necklace, the stone, and the wand. Yes, those are the 3 you're looking for. So you bring these to the sort of to the desk, and yes, thank you. Welcome to my shop. Oh, you got some beautiful items here. Oh, yes, I'm very glad to get rid of this item. And he sort of kind of says, the stone you can have for 2 gold. Yeah, and it's just like sort of. Sorry, he sort of kind of throws it to you, and he goes, ah! And sort of, and it sort of lands in your hand. He says, now, as for these 2 items, these are quite nice. Some of the finest in my shop, actually. I'll let you have the necklace for 100 gold.
At that price, it sounds to me like you want to keep it. Can you bring it any lower?
Roll me a persuasion.
Galandra puts 100 gold on the table.
Oh, wow.
She's like, no, 100 gold.
Galandra puts 100 gold on the table.
And she's like, okay, there, sold! There you go. As for the wand, she just says, well, this item here is one of the finest in this establishment. And the finest in Ballon, I might say. I will give you this for 300 gold.
I look at Bart and I'm like, do you really want that?
It could be fun. I mean, imagine making somebody's dagger disappear. Can't stab me. Larks. Awesome. Or, now listen carefully. A friend you know is about to take a sip of a tankard. Imperial! War, ale everywhere. Then you tell their friends they pissed themselves.
If you can get her to lower the price, then maybe we can get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, Bart, you'll have roughly the same amount of gold as they do, I think, over the.
Yeah. Sick.
I was going to buy it for him. Look at that. I don't need to now.
Yeah. If you wanted it, you could sort of like, you've probably got, from your adventures and doing things, you've probably got about 5k flying around as well. So.
Okay, cool. I'll lean across the counter, and I'll just like very quietly sort of like whisper over, and I'll say, "Now listen, I've held my tongue while you dealt with these rubes. Sell them what you want. Doesn't matter. We know this is only good for a party trick. I'll give you 200 gold pieces. 300 is an absolute joke."
Okay, roll me persuasion. She's like, she looks at you, she's like, 250, and that's my last offer.
Very well. You drive a hard bargain.
Ha! Yes, excellent. So she passes you the wand and bids you adieu. You've got your items.
Trinkets.
You've got your trinkets. Make sure you write them down on your character sheets, because I will forget.
Darvel runs out the shop with the rock and says, "Who wants to play catch?"
He's like, Saravel, go long!
It's like one of those Nerf balls.
The necklace is already round my neck, and I have put a picture of it in the roleplay chat to solidify it is on me.
No! I'll buy it off of you.
Oh, God.
Already on me.
Right, okay. Let's leave it for tonight. You're not around next week, are you?
No, I'm away. I'm in the English camping village.
Oh, okay. So we will try and get the we'll get the trial out of the way next week, and then if you're needed to not NPC, but we'll sort of, you'll be around and then sort of get dragged along with them as they do.
I think what Val was alluding to before, I might be in the library trying to flip stuff into the deep historical archives.
I have to convince Calandra to hand it over first.
So this is why you carry money.
I do, apparently.
Right, okay. So we'll leave it there. Another good sesh.
Did you say 5,000 GP? Yeah,
You've got 1,000 GP, yes.
1,000 or 5,000?
5,000.
Okay.
Lance doesn't have much. I think he spent most of his. Okay, so that's that. Cheers, everybody. Much appreciated. For me, I've been Matt Geary. With me has been Michael Estarval. Wes as Phalosolnostius.
Good night, everyone.
Lecky as Bartholomew Pringle.
Good evening.
And Danny as Galandra.
Bye.
Night. Bye.